Argentina, China, Macau, Singapore.
Macau.
Yeah.
I don't even know what
that's
that is.
that's an island of Hong Kong.
Oh, okay.
Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Am I forgetting one? Did I say China?
Yeah. And then with just 6, which countries have you been to?
Germany.
Yeah.
London. Austria.
Mm.
Is that it? I think that's it. We've done those. I know they also did Switzerland.
On our first episode, this heartbreaking fantasy from
Absolute consent, guys.
I cannot know, and therefore I'm willing to unlearn some of the things that I know. What's happening? It is episode 17 of the Newkid in the vlog, featuring Skwara on sax. How to do, brother? How to do?
I'm good, man.
How you doing, brother?
I'm good, bro. How you doing?
I've been meaning to have you on the show. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Give me that Cyril.
Yeah.
Sharp, guys. If there's one thing that the Newkid in the vlog knows, is not to introduce our guests. Let's hear from them. Episode 17, who are you?
Okay, well, Kwande Skwara Cakata and Wasetua.
Yeah.
I grew up in the Eastern Cape. 32 years old. Turned 32 a few months ago.
It wasn't during lockdown.
And it was a party. I mean, it was lockdown, but it was a party.
No convenience.
Yeah, no. Yeah, studied there for most of my life and then moved to PE.
Yeah.
Studied music in PE. lived and worked there for a while.
Yeah.
And I find myself here now. I started living in Joburg 2017, towards the end of 2017. And and have been doing great this side with the music.
Yeah, man. Welcome, Skwara. You're actually one of the only guys that I know whose childhood name, or you know those nicknames that they give you when you're growing up, Bochuku, Shoes, Skwara. Your childhood name followed you up to a stage.
Yeah. I actually got this name from out young. I got to Pam. But
his name was Pam.
His name was Pam. He ain't out, but his name was Pam. I know that's weird. But it was probably grade 5, 6.
Yeah.
And it just stuck. It stuck. It has a nice ring to it. I thought, okay, even with my music work and my stage name, let me just keep it at Skwara. And it happened to be Skwara on sax because I play the saxophone.
You're on point with that saxophone. Thank you so much for joining us. And do not forget, everyone, to subscribe to Man Designs on YouTube and also follow the Newkid on the vlog at Newkid_T45 on Twitter as well. What are your socials? Before we get this conversation rolling, what are your socials?
My socials, okay. On Facebook, Skwara on Sax. Instagram, at Skwara on Sax, one word. Twitter, I'm not really a Twitter person, but just Skwara_on_sax. YouTube, Skwara on Sax.
I know.
I have a website, www.skwaraonsax.co.za.
Yo.
That's where you can get a lot of my stuff.
You need to give Pammy royalties.
You're gonna just go on Sax.
Does your dad call you Skwara?
I don't remember him calling me that. But I know my choir conductor started calling me Skwara out of the blue, and it was like, "Hey, Jumita." I don't remember the Skwara, so yeah, it's a name that's just following me wherever I go now.
Okay, that's pretty dope, man. Let's talk about what led you to actually grabbing a saxophone and playing.
Well, so I studied music at the NMMU. I started there in 2008.
Yeah.
And I studied the keyboard, the voice, and a bit of the guitar. So those are the instruments I could play. But I remember that in our bands that we had with my friends back in school, whenever I would come up with jams for us to do, and as the player of the band, I was the guy who was always coming up with the melodies, like gents, ba ba da ba ba. I was like, hey, any stuff a lot saxophone. Literally like that. And I was like, but I only started playing a while after I had finished with school, and I just took one of my friend's saxophone who I said Mzansi, and I started fiddling around. A friend of mine showed me my first scale, showed me my first scale, and from there I just took it further, YouTube, and then here and there, the man it's a fun car.
So are you self-taught when it comes to sax?
Well, I guess so, if that's what it's called, really.
That's crazy.
But I think I had a good kind of background because I studied music. And for me, it felt a bit simpler because it wasn't like the piano, which had a lot of keys. It was just one note at a time.
Yeah.
And here and there, I would and then I'd go back home and figure it out. And this is what I do now.
And out of everything you studied, you ended up with the one that you actually didn't study for.
Right.
And that's the one that you're rolling with in terms of your brand and your image.
Yeah, I found that it was easier to get gigs.
Well, playing something that's not so common.
Exactly. It was easier to play gigs. I mean, there's so many piano players. There's just a lot of all of us, really. Especially where I came from. And so when I picked it up in I've been playing now for 5 years. When I picked it up, and then that Dibanes, and then I started playing publicly. I got a lot of attention and good reception from my band, and that's why I polished it even further, and I was getting gigs left, right, and center in East London where I stayed, and it was a no-brainer. I should just stick with the saxophone and and make that money.
And you guys actually held it down for quite some time in Port Elizabeth as far as the jazz scene goes. Because you might not know this, but Skwara actually sang with my sister.
Yeah.
For a group called Mo, and I know you guys performed for quite some time in a few different spots in Port Elizabeth.
Yeah, it was dope discovering ourselves with Yamo, because we were primarily a church group, right? And this is where I get all of my musical background from my father and his siblings and everyone in church that is there doing the music. So for myself and Ordwa who were in the group, we studied music, and obviously it was going to be something else about full time after school. So we thought, hey, we'll definitely be doing music in church, but let's try and branch out a bit and make some money outside of church as well with the music. So we started pushing a more outside to like festivals, corporate functions and stuff like that. So that actually helped us learn a lot about the whole scene, the industry, while we were still at school. And we found ourselves getting involved in a lot of very good projects at the time, which I think some are still around, and it helped us a lot with our music development, if you would.
That's pretty crazy, man. And just to speak about your music as far as it being a career, you're in varsity studying music. Firstly, was this a decision you had already made, like later on in your high school life, that you're gonna pursue music? Or is it something that I just closed my eyes, I said, which ones are available? Logistics.
I had decided, I think earlier I wanted to become
that's really good.
I'll tell you now, I wanted to become an Airbus engineer, right? So for lack of a better word, I'd say mechanical plane.
Okay.
So I wanted to do that, but then she meant and and then my brother was like, yo, you've been playing this piano and singing all this stuff. Why just don't you study music? And that's where I think it was probably grade 8, not grade 8, standard 8, grade 10.
Grade 10.
Yeah.
You're old school. Standard. Form 1.
Exactly. So I was like, oh snap, okay, let me do this. Then I started taking lessons with an old lady in our area, by Monty. And
is he the same one that teaches your younger brother?
Yes, actually. No. Actually, we used to, at that time it was quite small. What we used to do is we used to make our way to the lessons. So maybe and I'd be on my bike. I'd have my keyboard, right? Because you needed to kind of go with your keyboard as a bonus and so forth. I'd have my keyboard, and I have Kwande and lift up a bike.
Bicycle.
And we both make our way to the lesson. He would go in first. I think I don't remember who went first, but ultimately the spare part and then that's where he got his first kind of taste for the music as well. Even after he had kind of tried to fiddle things from seeing me play.
You guys come from a very musical family as well, and I know it sounds like, hey, this guy must be making up stories now, but my mom actually sang with your dad as well, part of New Creation, so I know your family's pretty musical, and it probably didn't make it as hard for them to come to terms with the fact that this guy might be broke one day in his life because he wants to study music, but let him go. So how was the reception at home when you said, yo, what's up, I want to study music?
Dude, listen, I had to come up with a whole pitch, actually, believe it or not. Now I thought, hey, listen, I mean, my dad has been in this, the whole family, but I had to make it convincing. They had to be convinced that I had a plan. I knew exactly what I was going to do. It wasn't just about the passion, but at least have a plan in place to say, okay, you're gonna do A, B, C, and this is what you kind of want to get to in the next 5-10 years. So it got me thinking a bit. I was first into like production, I liked working in mixers and going to for groups, so I naturally went towards that direction.
So you were the guys that we went to sing with Seventh Harmony with just the bass. The bass, these guys can't be as good as us.
So I was those guys, and I did a lot of that in my initial year or two of studying, and then I was like, no, man, because and then because I had a project to record a group called, oh my gosh, why am I forgetting the name? Vocal Cords. There we go.
Okay.
From Queenstown, I'm not telling Vocal Cords.
Shout out.
So I realized, no man, this is taking way too long.
Yeah.
That was me back there. It took too long for me to get through a project, and then all the money that had been paid into the project had been done by the time you're done with the project. So that's why I kind of leaned over into like being the instrumentalist, because I could, but in my mind I thought, hey, listen, producers make a lot of money.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, look, I'm aware, we spoke earlier on actually, and part of the things that we spoke about is that parents do come to an understanding that, if you're in, I'll make an example about what I studied. If you're in logistics, you can easily, let them know that I'm gonna get there as far as my career is concerned. I'll get that stipend, which is like $5,000 and whatever, and I'll eventually build on my career. But there seems to be a detachment when it comes to like the creative space, because parents would often be like, yeah, you see, this thing of yours is failing, and they don't understand the initial hustle before you actually get to a space where you're making money musically. Now I'm just saying that as, I'm just making that statement. I don't know if you want to contribute to that, but it's just something that's always lingered in my mind, that why don't we understand that even as an artist, you're gonna be an intern, but your internship's gonna be different, because you're gonna be hustling and running the work yourself.
Right, and I mean it's always perceived as though, oh, you're artist, you're not gonna get work, you're not gonna. And guess what? In other professions as well, it's as tough. But I don't know why the arts have been watered down. Maybe mainly. Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe it's because anyone can sing. I'm a Baatule, and obviously there is an art behind it when you go deeper in it, but I'm guessing that's why people kind of see it as a lesser profession than the others. But at the end of the day, it's a job. It's a job, and as much as you would have gone to logistics school, we have a lot of people who are in logistics that are just sitting there and are struggling to get a job.
Yeah.
So so I call them out. So you studying logistics or medicine doesn't give you a guarantee of a job or making serious money. Same applies to any other profession out there.
But you've kind of like ran the track for a bit now, and you've done quite a lot. You'll just let me know. You'll just fill in where I haven't.
Right.
You sang with Amor. And you guys did quite well in Port Elizabeth. The people there loved you. I know both in and out of church. You've done a lot of work with Just Six.
Yes.
I think the first time I saw those guys' real group was in the University of Pretoria. And really cool guys, and they were singing the entire time while we were waiting to get into the show. So I really know that they're really dope people to be around. And you went with them to an international competition. How was that, man? How was the experience being abroad and like you're singing on a massive stage where everyone just is there for what you're doing?
It was amazing, man, because previously I had sung with NMMU choir. That was the only other opportunity I had to go overseas with a singing group. So we did festivals with other choirs and competitions and so on, but this was very different because well, I mean, there's like 10 of you guys in the bass section and 10. And it's cool.
Yeah.
But here, each man who's mailing in Thailand.
Yeah, you have to hold.
You know what I mean? And there's no faking anything. It was interesting. It was a very tough few 10 days. We had I don't think we've ever sung that much ever. I don't know if the guys can
you even had another group that joined you and it was
we were there for 10 days, right?
Yeah.
And each day
where's there? Let's let the people know.
Yes, this was the International A Cappella Festival, yes, in Moscow, right? They have this thing every year during their spring season. So they'll have a lot of things happening as well as this A Cappella Festival as well. So we applied to go and we made it. And we were competing there with 195 other components.
Yeah. And how well did you do?
We did well. We came in second. We came in second.
Bringing you the internationally acclaimed number 2 in the world.
Yeah. We came second, man. We did every day. We did three shows.
Yeah.
Which were probably 45 minutes long. So imagine this up in Joburg CBD. There's stages plotted all over the show, and we'd have to walk to Rosebank, do a show there, and walk to Sandton, do a show there. So we'd have those 3 shows in a day every day. And there would be judges walking around there in the audience. We didn't even actually know who the judges were. Kind of putting down their marks on whoever was on there. So it was good, man. It was good. It was an eye opener. It was a totally different experience from some of the things that we're used to, and it literally really broadened our minds and opened our minds to what else is out there when a cappella is concerned.
Yeah. And how was the food in Moscow? Because I know a lot of people will speak about Italian food and food from Spain, whatever.
Yeah.
But no one's ever said, "Oh, I had Russian cuisine."
Yeah, we did actually. There was one.
Was it good though?
It was good, man. It was good. I had no problems with that meal we had. We went out, no Rifi, no Mike, a friend of ours who was kind of responsible for taking us to the shows and just showing us around. And we had some dishes there that were, I would say we have some of these dishes here as well, but I think maybe it's how they prepared pies and soup, and they're actually quite delicious. So it was dope.
Okay, here's something you should have been eating while you were spending time in Moscow, thanks to the guys at Steers. Skwara can have something that he should have been eating in Moscow. And this is the new share box meal by Steers. It's a mix it up actually meal by Steers. So it's got like 4 burgers. It's something that you can murder it. They're trying out. It's really dope. Don't worry about that. And I mean, tons of you guys can eat at the same time, especially if you're in a group like Just 6. It's 4 burgers, but it's really 4 big burgers.
You are Just 6, bro. Make no mistake. When we meet for like a week and record and kind of get some new music in, all we do is eat. Like legit guys.
Sustenance.
Guys, obviously, né?
For the bass to come from the...
Yeah.
Okay, let me grab one last bite.
Yeah. Clap at the bass.
Thank you.
I'll have some more of that later.
Yeah, so big shout out to the guys at Steers. It's a really cool meal, especially if you're looking to save money and chill with friends and eat an actual meaty patty that you know doesn't come from donkey. Yeah.
How do?
Yeah. So, Skwara, you've done quite a lot. Let's just give me like a checklist of all of the things that you've done. So you've been to NMMU,
Yeah.
and you were part of the choir. Give me a few countries that you went to very quickly with NMMU.
Italy, Argentina, China, Macau, Singapore.
Macau.
Yeah.
I don't even know where
That's
that is.
like that's an island of Hong Kong.
Oh, okay.
Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Am I forgetting one? Did I say China?
Yeah. And then with just 6, which countries have you been to?
Germany,
Yeah.
London, Austria.
Mm.
Is that it? I think that's it. We've done those. I know they also did Switzerland in the previous years, and I might be forgetting two or three more.
And where do you want to go as Skwara? Again, same exercise, checklist.
Yo. Same places. Honestly, I don't know, man. I don't know as the. I mean, as I could go wherever opportunity arises for me to kind of.
So you don't have like
showcase
an
my
ideal,
talent.
you don't have like I want to go.
Not that I can think of really now, but I know I would just like to travel the world as much as I can. I don't, as Skwara said, really consider myself a jazz saxophonist in the true sense of the word. Because I play a lot of smooth tunes, R&B, Abba Nora Jones kind of vibe. I am still kind of learning to get into that jazz language of playing, which I know is very huge in the States, where all of the big names come from. Definitely that would be something I would appreciate being able to do and visit the States and see where some of these guys that have influenced my playing as well come from.
Yeah. So with the new kid on the vlog, again, we're gonna remind you, please don't forget to subscribe to Man Designs on YouTube. Make sure that little bell icon, click on that so that you're the first person to get the episodes every time they air. And also do follow me at Newkid_T45 on Twitter. And we know where Skwara is.
Skwara on sex, Skwara on sex, Skwara on sex, Skwara on sex.
Absolutely. Anywhere you search, it is always Skwara on sex. So what I wanted to talk about right now, because there's a part of the show that we actually phased out a bit, but we want to really bring it back because, you know, in this time of COVID, a lot of young people have actually, you know, I went to print out some CIPC documents at a local internet cafe, and the lady there was like, yo dude, you're probably like the 10th young person that's been here printing company documents. And for me that was pretty profound and cool, super cool. So we want to just talk about, you know, what businesses artists can have to sustain themselves. Like I'm gonna go first,
Sure.
and then you can let me know what you're doing in terms of business to kind of like not only sustain your career but also just broaden yourself as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Sure. So as the new kid on the vlog, and you'll see there'll be a logo right here. I'm not sure where Man Designs gonna put it. For Quinn Finance. So we're a micro lending firm. You know, a lot of times you get a financial speed bump and you have the money, let's say, but the money's locked up somewhere and you just really need cash right now. Hit us up, search for Quinn Finance. We do have a Twitter page, we have an Instagram page and Facebook as well. We will help you out at a very, very low interest rate. So you don't want to go to a loan shark, but at the same time, you need money right now and the bank's going to take too long. Or they'll charge you like an extra 15% if you want to grab that 32-day notice, you know, reserve that you put out there, and we're there to help you. And over to you, Skwara. What do you do as business for sustenance?
Well, I mean, we have been introduced by our mom to the network marketing world. Yeah, some of us will know a lot of these network marketing companies, to name a few: IFA, Herbalife, Tupperware. So we got introduced to that world quite early in our youths, and we kind of were in and out of it, and until we kind of learned how to properly run businesses in that sphere. And we are currently busy with a company called Live Pure from the States, which we have currently launched this side in South Africa. So that's one other main thing I am into. Besides the music, which is kind of like a supplementary income to some of the things that I'm doing in the music world, which kind of helps me keep afloat. So that's one other thing that I'm doing, and really am wanting to kind of branch into other things as well once the finances are okay for me to venture into some of those spaces.
And if I want to find, what did you call the name of the company?
Oh yeah, the name of the company is Pure. It deals in health and wellness products. So we have, for instance, now 4 products on the market, which is an energy drink called Energy. And all of these things, all of the products are organic, so you don't get any side effects from all of that stuff. Right. all of those preservatives that we find in our food and products today. So we've got that. We've got a product called Cleanse, which is like a detox kind of product, and then we have a product called Pure Excel, and one more. Why am I forgetting it? Daily Build, which is like a multivitamin.
And where do we find you guys?
You can find us on our website, livepure.co.za, and you can actually, when you follow me on my socials, because I try and kind of show people a little of everything that I do, you'll definitely be finding a lot of those in my post as well, and as well on my social media. So that's one other way to find us. Yeah.
I'm really glad you played that Nora Jones joint now. Yeah. And I'm saying this because this is something you also might not know. But you know how people never want to be, told that, yeah, you look like a certain person. People always used to tell me that, yo, aren't you a Cakata? And I'd be like,
really?
I mean, if you insist, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, making sure that, You also played, like I said, a track by Nora Jones, and there's one that I please would like you to bump for me.
Okay.
It's a track by the Bee Gees. How Deep Is Your Love? Can you pull that one?
Oh, dope. Yeah, I should have that over. Yeah. Okay. Should I play it now?
Okay. Can I do a quick insert? No, right now. Can I do a quick insert for you to introduce the song?
Yeah. Let's go.
If you're dating and you're not sure about your partner, ask this question: how deep is your love? Give us that jump, man.
All right.
I'm convinced now that I'm going to learn how to play that song and you're going to teach me. And when I propose to my wife, I'm going to play this song, then toss the sax aside and say, oh man, what a jam, man. So if someone wants to get you for bookings, where do we holla?
You can holla on any of my socials, but if you need to get my phone number as well, my phone number is 071-9680-956. 071-9680-956. But anywhere on my socials is fine. Drop me a DM, inbox,
even if you want to just call and say how deep is your love.
Exactly. Translated to
Oh man, Skwara, thank you so much, man, for pulling through. I really enjoyed having you over, and I do hope that one day we'll see you on big stages and have you back here on the Newkid.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much for having me.
Or maybe
Definitely
take me to Switzerland.
we can make a plan.
Yeah, I'll record your content for you. Otherwise, man, this has been the 17th episode of the most banging podcast to date. I've been Mzansi, the Newkid on the vlog. Don't forget to subscribe and share on all of your socials as well. Share.
In fact, don't share.
Yeah,
Mind trick there. Don't share.
Yeah.
But you will.
Yeah. To also hit us up, man. Click on our little bell icon. It should appear somewhere here, and do subscribe. Make sure that you share. This podcast is just gonna get hotter and hotter and hotter. And Skwara, thank you so much, brother. We'll sanitize shortly after. We are trying to maintain this whole social distance. Thank you so much again, Skwara, for coming through. 17, baby.